are these eyes? How gracious of thee, Ashen One. The very things we Firekeepers have been missing. Ashen One, my thanks for the eyes thou'st given. But Firekeepers are not meant to have eyes. It is forbidden. These will reveal through a sliver of light frightful images of betrayal. A world without fire. Ashen One, is this truly thy wish?
Hello everybody, and welcome back to another episode of the MechaWill Show. Specifically, MechaWill plays the lovely game that is Dark Souls 3. So as you can see from that opening cinematic, last time we left off, we were in the Firekeeper Shrine, and now we're here again. I had found the Eyes of a Firekeeper, which, spoilers, obviously you're watching a game Let's Play, so there's some spoilers. You do find in a secret area behind the Osiris, the Consumed King boss, called the Untended Graves, where you can find it in a secret wall, and there's a Firekeeper there. So I get to this, to this spot in my Let's Play where I give these eyes to the Firekeeper. Now, at this point, this is a blind Let's Play, so I'm not quite sure what I'm supposed to do or what this means. But I was told by my friend that I had been co-oping with here that it does have to do with the end of the game. So as you can see, my character standing a little bit sedentary at the moment. It's because I'm actually consulting my friend. I'm like, yo, what is this? And what does it mean? Wish for a world without flame. Well, we all know what happens without the fire, but also the fire has been continuing this long cycle of the curse, for centuries and centuries and thousands of millennia, like, pretty much the history of the earth, which sucks. So I'm wondering what to do at this moment, but I decided to consult my friend, which is what you're hearing right now. But I'd like to stop my commentary roll for a moment and just get you guys to listen to the music in the background while this is, as soon as you give the eyes to the Firekeeper, the music changes pretty drastically. Just a beautiful musical piece there. I don't mean to break your immersion at this point. Speaking of immersion, the best way I think to view my Let's Plays are to go ahead and turn off all the lights, put the baby in full screen mode, go 1080p, 1440p, 1620p as much as you possibly can, and throw on some good headphones so you can get yourself immersed in the gameplay, because games like this only come around a couple of times, and my experience was a once-in-a-lifetime experience, so. It took me a long time to parlay with my friend at that moment. So basically, I hate that I skipped through those lines too. Basically, I talked to my buddy, and here's what happened. In case you guys are not aware from last episode, this is post-commentary, which means this was happening, and it was a blind playthrough that I was playing co-op to finish the game with the rest of the game with my buddy, but I decided to record it, and now I'm recording some audio over it. So he told me that there's some really cool stuff that this guy says about the eyes. And I was like,
show a world destitute of fire, a barren plain of endless darkness, a place born of betrayal. So I willed myself, Lord, to link the fire, to paint a new vision. What is thine intent?
So basically, I declined because I wanted to see what this guy said, and basically the extent, I was expecting more dialogue. The extent of it was
these words with pride,
that this guy just had like a line to say about the eyes. So I was a little bit disappointed, but I was like, all right, well, I'll just go back to this Firekeeper and accept her proposal, because I really did want to end, the flame. But the only thing I could get from this chick was that she wanted me to kill her. In case you guys don't understand the implication of the eyes of the Firekeeper, giving her the eyes allows the Firekeeper to see the world. Firekeepers are normally not allowed to have that kind of vision because it allows them to see, the disparity between light and darkness and what the world would be without without the flame that they've been sworn to protect. I was so like wanting to see new dialogue that I actually quit the game in hopes that it hadn't like auto-saved by giving her the eyes. I think I learned later on that you can some fucking some grade A commentary right there. I think I learned later on that you can actually kill her and get the eyes back and then give them back to her and then accept the same proposal, I'm pretty sure. And it also didn't necessarily change what I wanted to do in the end, but it was still something I wanted to see what happens with. Catalyst used by generations of heretic sorcerers. Sorcery is a logical academic discipline, and the power of sorcerers depends heavily on the caster's intelligence. So, yeah. I went back and I was sorely disappointed. I was very put out, as the kids say. And at that point, I was like, "Yo, dog, you told me to just decline and go talk to somebody else." And because of that, I thought that I missed the ending, so I was a little bit ornery at my fellow compatriot at this point in time. But I tell you what, man, in case you guys don't know who I'm playing with at the moment, I'm playing with Darkmoon Knight. Just started up a YouTube channel, and he's just going to be posting different non-commentary, I believe for the most part, PvP videos of Dark Souls, because he's a great PvP player, and he likes to upload a lot of his ganks and his like 1v3s that he's been taking on pretty awesome. So if you want to check him out, I'm sure there'll be a link in the description below. He's a good man. But let's move back to the castle. Bye-bye, boys. Have fun storming the castle. I will have fun storming it. In this case, he means have fun storming the Grand Archives, which I have been. The Grand Archives is a super well-designed level. The thing about Dark Souls is, like, a lot of the fans were really clamoring, for this game to have the level design of Dark Souls 1, which in essence was basically a very complex level design that looped back around on itself and was very interspersed with itself. It worked in a very vertical fashion. There's a lot of like vertical movement. The whole game is basically set on like one mountain peak, which you can look if you check out some of the fan maps that were drawn of it. You basically are just moving up and down the whole time, which is great. I mean, Dark Souls 1 is pretty much a masterpiece, and we'll have a small discussion on that earlier. I'm still working on a good video series on how to actually get into why Dark Souls has all these things going for it. But that's not the concern at the moment. We're supposed to be playing some PvP. So at the moment, with this screen here, I hope you guys can forgive the amount of time that I've spent just chilling. I may skip to when I start moving again. Alrighty, everybody, and we are back. So after that rather long discourse, I decided to jump on back into the game. I don't know what I was doing at this point. I imagine I was like getting some food. Like, okay, for you guys, it's gonna be as quick as a light switch. You saw a scene and then it blended into another scene, and now you're here. Fucking great for you. But I just basically had to sit there and watch myself take about 20 minutes to do nothing. I had a good time. I read some Reddit. I took some more sips of this delicious green tea mixed with honey. The normal stuff. I gotta tell you, for some reason with this particular, there he is. There's the boy. Come on in. Come on in, son. Join the fun. Now, everybody go and grab someone. Now, first of all, I'm a boss. I just like to get that across. For some reason, I'm like, this green tea is making me salivate a little bit more. Oh, that's disgusting. MechaWill, what are you doing? I'm enjoying myself at the moment. So, as you can see, I brought my delicious Karthus Flame Arc with me. We're about ready to roast and toast some shit at the moment. I'm all about the roasting. Look, I think I made this particular argument earlier in an earlier Rocket League Let's Play videos, which if you guys are wondering where those are, they will be coming back. I just need, obviously I've been focused on some other series, but I will be getting into some more daily Rocket League Let's Plays as well, because I think they're super important. I love Rocket League, it's a fun game. But we're not talking about Rocket League, not right now. Right now, fuck, man. I told you I didn't want to hear about another game while I'm watching Dark Souls. It's too much for my brain to process. I can't understand what's going on when you say one thing and you're showing me a different thing. It doesn't make any sense. And you can go straight to fucking hell. This is, okay, we're getting closer to the sun. Much like Icarus. All right, so we're rolling in. I didn't know what was gonna happen, and then whoa, whoa! What's going on with these guys? Not my favorite thing to do. And then I realized I could backstab them, and I was like, yo, this will just be a walk in the park. I can just, like, totally backstab the shit out of these guys. So let's see how we take them on. They got some freaking weird-ass wings that are, like, beyond the normal curvature of what wings would probably have to be. I don't know if that, like, helps him when he's, like, you know, because most people use wings, the way they fly is they, like, you know, move up on currents, generally, like, hot air currents that are, you know, warm air currents that are in the wind. Does that help these guys even more, having like really curved wings? I don't know. They seem too floppy to be working with an actual aeronautical device. But what do I know? Nothing. Stop talking like you know everything. You don't. You don't know a goddamn thing. And as we had stated before, this is a fictional thing. So basically, my buddy there just got crushed. Sorry, Darkmoon. You were doing your best. You can see why, because he asked me, he was like, yo man, like, did you survive these guys? And I was like, no, to spoil, but you got, like, look at this shit. Look at this shit. I was doing it, it was clutch. I almost had this guy. I really just wanted to get one hit on him, and then that shit happened. It's not good being double teamed, man. I can't speak for that in a sexual sense, but I can speak for that in a video game sense, especially Dark Souls when you're getting into the gang squad. And is there a difference? Well, yeah, there's like a massive difference between a double team, sexually speaking, and a double team, you know. All right, let's not go down that road because we're a family-friendly show. We talked about this before. Dude, we're a family-friendly show. If I had a store, what would I sell? I don't know. Probably kooky little writings that I've, like, engraved on, like, pillows and doilies and stuff like that. Just, you know, cliche kind of stuff, like always love your mom. That kind of stuff, you guys don't understand how much business that produces. You sell it to the people that are over the age of probably about 65. The market is absurd. Underneath the age of 65, it's pretty much non-existent, but you guys aren't hitting that elder demographic. That's something that I feel like is untapped. Those people got so much money to spend. They're at the, I hate to say it, they're at the end of their lives. I'm not trying to be ageist. I'm just saying, I mean, come on. They are, you know, scientifically and biologically speaking, at the other ends of their lifespan. Not the good ends, but the bad ends, depending on how you viewed. I'm walking on eggshells here in case, you know, a favorite. My luck would probably be that there's a grandma out there that's like, oh, I love the MechaWill show. It's by far the funniest and best and most intelligent show on the internet. And then I say something like this about people that are a little bit older, and she's like, oh, I see how you work now, motherfucker. I do not support the show anymore. And she tells all of her senior friends, and it turns out that my entire viewership is predicated on people over the age of 65, and I just lost all of them. Thousands and thousands of views gone, missing, never to return again. Well, I'm sure we'd get around it. We'd basically, what are the younger kids in these days? It used to be Minecraft. That used to be the like generic thing to put on YouTube if you wanted like a ton of views. I think it still is for the most part, because you can still get that like 9, 10, 11-year-old demographic that people covet. But I'm feeling something different. I feel like maybe, and you know what? I feel like people are rolling off the COD train too, like Call of Duty wise. And do you want to go up? Nah, I think we'll go straight back down if that's all right with you. Oh, no problem at all, man. My buddy takes it like a pro. He just sits there without a hitch, and I'm like, yeah, sorry about that, man. My bad. What is the hot hip thing to put on YouTube these days? I feel like, you know, Grand Theft Auto is still a biggie. It's mostly those like rated M games that are like mostly for more people that like to play casual stuff, that are more open-ended, that you can just be really loud at and just say lots of shit to. Basically, as long as you swear enough and you have a game that's like over the age range of a 9, 10, 11, 12-year-old demographic, then you're sold, man. You just need to get yourself out there. That's the best way to make big bucks on YouTube, because that's what we're all here for, isn't that? Isn't that correct? Aren't we all here to make big bucks? Isn't that the reason I'm making this show? Just to get $10, $20 from a kid that doesn't even have any fucking pocket change to spend at school on his lunches? Probably drinking chocolate milk for lunch every day. Why don't we get him into a healthier diet? That's a great question. I, for one, absolutely, and I was like, that's just some bullshit. These things are just the most random. I disagree with everything that happened, right? Would you go back and play that footage again? I disagree with everything that happened in that footage. I refuse to be the one. Let me be the one who calls you baby all the time. I refuse, man. I 100% refuse with the premise that you have laid before me. You guys may be wondering why my commentary seems to be getting more and more cataclysmic. It's just because of the sugar, man. I'm having, like, green tea aside, it does have some caffeine in it. I dumped honey in here. Why did you dump honey in your green tea? That's a great question. Thank you for asking me. I appreciate the feedback that I get from you guys. You know, a little candor goes a long way, let me tell you. But the reason that I put honey in my green tea was I was trying to emulate a particular drink of a particular establishment that I've only had once in my lifetime and is by far the best. I'm not fucking with you. The best green tea I've ever had in my life. At least I think it was green tea. It was some sort of tea. But basically, the place, you guys aren't going to believe this, unless you live out here in sunny Southern California in the West Los Angeles region. Because I don't think it's a chain. I think it is a chain establishment, but I don't think it's for you folks on the East or the Midwest. It's basically a restaurant built on one strong foundational principle, which is honey. And you guys out there that are honey fanatics, such as myself, such as me, such as the man that you are listening to at this moment, you guys would find yourself in honey heaven. And I appreciate the alliteration that was going on there because it only serves to strengthen my point, which is that this is the best goddamn place to get anything honey related at the moment. It was a sweet shop. I don't know, I forget what it was called. It's like Honey Sweets or Honey something. Honey was in the name. You knew what the fuck you were getting into when you walked into that door. You understood when looking at the sign what kind of game you were playing and whether or not you were going to succeed. And boy, did I succeed. It was a 100% victory by all accounts on my end. Basically, I go in there and I try two things. They're an ice cream shop. And you guys may be wondering, I thought you said there was something about honey. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Have you never had honey ice cream? It's the best fucking thing in existence. And right now, you guys are wondering, why are you getting all, you know, why are you throwing out all the, you know, all the freaking superlatives right now? Why are you jumping on the exaggeration train, the hyperbole bus that's rolling down? It's not hyperbole. It's really good. Basically, it's basically something like 100% real milk dairy ice cream. Which if you guys are like used to eating just like the frozen dairy treats dessert kind of shit that's like not made out of 100% real milk, it's like mostly processed, you guys don't know what you're missing out on because 100% dairy ice cream, while like way more unhealthier for you because it's just loaded with fat, it's by far like the best way to have, like, it's the OG, it's the best way to have ice cream. And at this point in the video, I was like, fuck you, the lights are just searching me out, and I refuse that premise. But anyway, I'm talking about some good old-fashioned honey topping. Alright, so now we're taking on these guys again. I'm trying to balance between some good old commentary on the things that I like to talk about, and also like what's going on in the game. These guys scare the shit out of me. I just want to let you know that. But he basically decided to lead me on to I think a strategy here, lead me around the corner so we could take them on one by one. Once we get that down, it's no problem. And we both decided to put on some good old flame going on here, which I was glad because normally I'm not my buff isn't that useful. And then I was like, nope, trying to do some AoE bullshit? I don't think so. Not in my house, son. Kembe Atumbo, not in my house. And he's like, yeah, we did it. I tried to do an emote, and then I realized at that point that it was, yep. And I was like, my reaction when I tried to do my emo, but my buddy moves away because I can't get it out quick enough. Is that a sexual innuendo? Can't get it out quick enough? No. I don't know. No. When in doubt, whip it out. That's not true, guys. Be respectful of the environments that you're in. If you're in a biology class and you're doubting whether or not you should take out your penis, this is not a place where you would apply when in doubt, whip it out. That's a place where you would apply when in doubt. Get yourself some fucking psychological help, because you're not supposed to be whipping your dick out in the middle of class. That kind of stuff is generally frowned upon in most societies. Not all of them. Find yourself on a nude beach? Fine. At that point, you really shouldn't be in doubt. It's really in the title of the place that you've decided to set your foot in. You should be well aware that you can kind of roam without all sorts of stuff. So anyway, it leads me up here to go get the lever. And at the moment, I still I mean, look at these designs. The set pieces of this game are like really phenomenal. Gotcha, bitch. It's just like, you know, you can catch glimpses while I'm rolling around of like the mountains in the background, which are just gorgeous. And the way that it overlooks the different castles, and even the set piece that we're on right now, which is like a tower built out, like a bulbous tower built on like all sorts of like weird, you know, architectural sensibilities, but it's very cool. And this whole platforming thing brought me back to Dark Souls 1. There's a lot of like, this game, I think more so than any of the other games, I saw a lot of drawbacks, or like callbacks to Demon Souls and Dark Souls 1 and Dark Souls 2. Not in the items, I'm talking like stuff that like, you know, game design. Which is cool, like, but this one, like they wanted this game to be, you know, they knew it was going to be the finale of the game, so I think it was very apparent that they wanted to put all of the things that made all of the other Dark Souls great in this game. And one of the coolest things in the other game was walking above the beams through Anor Londo in Dark Souls 1, where you're facing the Painting Guardians. So here we have a section that's, you know, exactly the same thing. Basically walking across the beams, and you do get that in another section too in the Grand Cathedral. Or Cathedral of the Deep. But I think it's really cool how they put this stuff in there. The magic guy firing at you is very similar to the situation you find yourself in Sense Fortress, going across that small pathway and having the snake magi, the snake magic people firing at you. So anyway, I appreciated what was going on at the moment. As you can see, I'm wearing the Dark Wraith mask. I look like a boss. You gotta play with the Fashion Souls. I'm all about them. Artorias was by far one of my favorite boss battles of all time, so I had to honor him by wearing his set, at least. I think I'm wearing Farron gauntlets or possibly some other set, and I believe Artorias' leggings, Wolf Knight leggings, and then the Dark Wraith mask at the moment, because I look like a boss. And I would just like to get that across. So I was having that revelation while walking across this path here between, like, this is just yet another piece that, you know, was brought from Dark Souls. And even this even looks kind of like the Anor Londo set piece inside this massive, beautifully ornate Temple of the Gods sort of thing going on. My buddy's got a light inside of his chest. What are you doing? I moved out of him away because I'm like, do you know where you're going, man? He's leading me around. It doesn't appear that you know what you're up to. Descending the ladder. Showing the people of this fine establishment a good time, which is what I am all about. No trap ahead. Glad to hear it. It's pointing to the chest. I did hit it anyway because fuck messages, man. It's like, messages for me in Dark Souls have the opposite intended effect. If somebody's like, oh, this ain't a trap, I like immediately check to see if it's a trap. It's because I don't trust people. It's not because of like my upbringing. For the most part, in real life, I'm a very trusting gentleman. I was born, as many of you know, in the Midwest. This is a region that's known for its caring and trusting sensibilities. Not to the point of foolishness, but to the point where we like to give people the benefit of the doubt, and I feel like I'm that kind of person as well. I like to give people in Dark Souls the benefit of the doubt, but sometimes you go through this game and you're like, no, fucker. I know what you're up to. I refuse to be a part of your little game. At this point, my boy just kind of runs off. He's trying to get that thing for me. I don't think he ever got it, but I told him I basically take care of this guy. Yeah, I'm still missing that little sucker. We both missed that one. I tell you, that Titanite bug is one of the most devilish in the game. He's got some skills, man. He knows how to survive. He's like Rambo. He's like the Rambo of Titanite bugs. Cool. What a great joke. Yo, fuck you, man. What a great joke, MechaWill. I do some really weird voice imitations of the people that I imagine are watching me. I actually think that, in the most part, my demographic is mostly male. I'd like to hope that my demographic is of, like, maybe a larger age range. I always like to have content that's entertaining for all, including the younger folks as well as up to the older folks. I like to have a community that's, you know, a good spot for all to be, and I just like to make sure that the people that are here like the content and like what they're hearing. I'm not like a part of the YouTube drama shit going on. I don't consider myself somebody that likes to talk about that kind of stuff, but I just come here to play wholesome games with a wholesome attitude and a wholesome commentary. You'll never hear a swear word come out of my mouth in my commentary. I'm such a good boy. I'm a good boy, a good old boy. Goodwill hunting is what they call me. Good MechaWill hunting. Good mecha hunting. Don't hunt MechaWill. Don't mistake what. Don't get the instructions unclear. My dick got stuck in MechaWill. To my positivity, that's never happened before, and I hope that it stays that way. Let's not let that situation occur, please. Now we're just looking at each other. Baby, I'm not to read. I'm not too long. I'm seeing a brighter way where we can be alone. Are you calling me? Are you trying to get through? I'm reaching out to you. I wish, I get the feeling that maybe I was Frank Sinatra in the past life. That's not a joke, you know, sometimes there's lots of theories going on as to whether or not we go anywhere where we die. I don't like to get into that kind of stuff on my channel because everybody's got their own opinions, and you know what, I'm not here to start fights. But I will say, I like to play around with lots of ideas from lots of different religions and sects of thought, and one of them is reincarnation. Specifically, I being the reincarnation of somebody famous. That's what I like to think about anyway. It makes me feel better about my own life and the fact that I don't have any accomplishments. If I feel like, yo, like, you know, don't worry about that. You were actually the reincarnation of Abraham Lincoln. So you freed the slaves sometime earlier in your life, so don't feel bad that you're, you know, sitting here playing YouTube for people online, playing video games online for people that you can watch stuff with, and in your day-to-day job, you know, selling things. I don't like to get in the nitty-gritties of what my job is, because I feel like you guys could then track me down from that, and I'd like to keep myself safe. I'd like to keep my family safe, my daughter safe. Don't you touch her. I've never seen any film in which, like, a daughter really gets taken. Like Taken, like the actual film. I've never seen Taken. That's what I was basing it on. But I don't have a cool Liam Neeson quote to draw myself to, unfortunately. But anyway, we've made our way through to this place, and we're about at the boss fight, which is what we're getting ready for. So I will end the episode after we get up here to these top guys, so we can save the boss fight for the next episode, which is great. Now you guys will see kind of what happens with my first reaction to these fun bosses coming up, and if you guys haven't gotten to this spot in your playthrough, then you're about to see some pretty cool boss fight coming up, which is great. This guy, I basically just told him to fuck himself and to go home to his family with this written note that was signed by myself saying that we had fucked him. So he told me at this point, my Phantom, Alistair, my bro, was like, hey, yo, so that's a shortcut. I'm gonna, you know, mosey on out because you can't get there with while I'm there. So you might as well, you know, head on in, look around a little bit, get the shortcut going, and move on down. So I believe we'll move on down, possibly spend some souls, and then move back to the boss fight. So let's make sure we know what's going on here. I'm sorry, I'm not the world's best singer. I'm trying to move. I'm trying to strengthen my vocal pipes. And we get back to this spot in Lothric Castle, which is a lot farther, like back to the previous boss fight that we had fought earlier, which is I think Dragon Slayer armor, Dragon Knight armor, which is a pretty cool boss fight. But this is where I was like, mind blown. Great level design, cool little shortcuts going on there, something I appreciate. For me, Dark Souls 3 had some pretty on-point level design. I love the verticality of Dark Souls 1, but I do like, you know, if you're going to make a bigger game that's going to be spread out, I do appreciate the different, like, shortcut-like things being brought back, which was cool. Well, anyway, that'll probably be it for this episode. I thank you guys so much for watching this post-commentary Dark Souls 3 blind, but not so blind with a friend that isn't blind at all adventure. And if you guys like the video series, it really helps if you guys throw it a like. Obviously, if you guys want to see more content, I'll be doing Dark Souls all the time. I'm a very Dark Souls-friendly gamer, so if you like the Souls series or some extra stuff, you can always check out my channel. It's good to subscribe because that means you'll get some notifications when I pop up with a new Dark Souls video. So I hope you guys stick around, and I thank you guys so much. So thank you for stopping by, and I hope to see you next show.